Hello, Lisa Davis here, the trusted banker, and good evening. This is late for me, but it's just this administration is it's just crazy. And Elon Muskrat, that's my new name for him. Elon Muskrat is just full of himself. He's just doing so many things. So this is about USAID. So USAID, they're trying to shut it down. They're definitely trying to shut it down. And in reading this article, the thing that came across to me the most importantly was that the United States of America has been and is always the largest provider of humanitarian aid. This country is a melting pot. It is a melting pot, and our foreign aid and our foreign relations has always helped to make our country strong, because we are small but mighty, right? But our relationships with foreign countries is what helps to keep us strong and safe, right? So it's not even Trump and Musk. It's Musk. Musk is on a bigger money grab than Trump, actually. Let me see if I can find that other article where he said he found over $1 billion in contracts and grants through DEI programming canceled all these contracts with all these entities. And the problem I have is that we've got two people that's trying to run a country that have never been successful at anything. Elon Musk has never started a business. He has bought into businesses. He has literally bought into businesses and ruined them, decreased their value. There's not one business that he started from the ground up. He might be smart, he might be all these things, but he doesn't understand how to run business successfully. He's a bully. Trump is definitely a bully, and he's filed bankruptcy more times than I know of, besides the fact that Trump is a serial entrepreneur at his big old age. He is still a serial entrepreneur at his big old age. Like I reported last week, he's opening up a fintech company. He's getting his cryptocurrency company going. He's going to have his own crypto token, and he's got his own media company that does streaming. So in 2025, he's doing the 2025 businesses. Good, great for him. Like last year, wasn't it trading cards? The year before that, was it gold gym shoes? And the year before that, was it, I don't know, but it's always something. Trump has been a serial entrepreneur all his life. Nothing successful, nothing that has stuck, nothing that has stuck, nothing that has been overly successful that is stuck, and it's been his thing that he's been able to build up and keep it building, right? He's just one entity after another investment after another. He's like those people that are always, I got a great idea. It's just that his friends are millionaires and billionaires. And so they invest in him, they make their money, and then they get in and get out or whatever, right? And so right now we're watching that they're trying to dismantle the USAID department. That and the Democrats are definitely fighting this. It looks like they're all gathered in and they're protesting and at the Department of USAID. And the Elon Musk and the GOP have the police at the doors of USAID and are not letting Democrats in. Marco Rubio is there. This is not how successful anything operates, right? To be successful, you really have to have the ability to you have to have the ability to work together to create a strategy and to get people to buy into your strategy, and then have that people that buy into your strategy get their people to buy into the strategy, and everybody works cohesively towards one goal that everybody believes in because it's the best for the organization. The United States is the organization. The United States is the company. President Trump, the Trump administration are the CEOs of the company, right? And as a CEO of a company, you have a board of advisors. Just consider that the department heads, Marco Rubios and the hedge sets, all the different administrations or the departments, HUD, Department of Defense, Department of Transportation, Secretary of State, Government Affairs, all those are like your board of advisors or your board members, right? As a CEO, you need to understand what it is that is the mission statement of your company, which is the United States of America. This is a capitalist society. But what is the mission of this company? And the United States has always been founded on being a good ally, right? And also a big humanitarian and having very, very, very strong government relations. And it is a melting pot. It is a melting pot for all people to come that need to come and that have to leave their country for whatever reason. Because if Trump keeps going, like I was thinking about this earlier today, if Trump keeps going the way he is and he destroys this country, right, there's going to be Americans that are going to flee because Americans are going to get sick of it. And Americans are going to want to seek asylum in other countries, right? Or like Americans, y'all need to start thinking about this because the way you guys are treating immigrants, even though you guys don't even rightly belong here, white folks don't belong here, period. Y'all weren't born here. Y'all came here. Y'all conquered here. You guys have been bullies and assholes since you've been here, and you destroy, right? The indigenous people are here. Black folks were here. Like all the other people were here, people of color. So the thought process is that now we've got all these people that have voted for the Trump administration, and the Trump administration is dismantling so many things that farmers are losing money, truckers are losing money, builders are losing money, developers are losing money. These are all white-owned businesses because they came here and conquered land 200 years ago. They built all this wealth. They've got all these businesses. They're all along the waterfronts. They've got all these great houses and great places where they make their money, and now they're all failing because Trump is tanking the economy with all of his threats and his tariffs, and the inflation is going to increase. However, mind you, it seems like since the time Trump left office, he has been grooming his followers to believe that once he gets back into office, which is right now with Project 2025, so over these last 4 years, he's been grooming his followers on what's it called? Truth Social, the whatever that media site is that he has, Truth, Patriot, Truth, whatever. And it sounds like when I read the comments that they write, because they are true believers, like it's the biggest cult that we'll ever see in our life. But if you really just take time to read the comments and try to like get into the minds of these people that believe in Trump and believe in what he's doing and all the moves that he's making, you'll see them saying it's going to hurt for a while, but it'll get better. We'll be down for a year or two, but then we'll be able to make money. Yes, inflation is going to increase, and the things he's going to do is they're going to increase the prices, but after 12 months, it'll be okay. That's what these people are saying. So I believe he's been telling these people for 12 months, for 4 years, he's been grooming them to know, without pain, there's no pleasure, right? Without sacrifice, there's no ability to rise and be great. Like, these people are ready to suffer. When you read the comments in any kind of post where logical people are talking about how Trump is going to increase the cost of everything, going to put some people out of business, going to make it difficult for you to get a job, going to make you lose your job. When you read their comments under these posts, and they're trying not to comment because they're really not as rambunctious as they were before. He's kind of keeping them quarantined over on Truth Social, right? Thank God for Truth Social, because they used to run rampant. Right? But when they do show their face, it's all like, well, you don't understand the master plan. Well, you don't understand what he's really trying to do. Well, you just need to wait and see because you're gonna see, and once you see, then you'll know that he was right and he's great and he's the king. And it's like, you guys are so brainwashed for all the crazy things that he's doing that you can't see that if he increases all these prices because of all these tariffs or all these broken relationships or all the things that he's doing, there has never been a time in my life when a car has gone from $12,000 to $18,000, and then Ford Motor Company says, okay, well, 2 years later, okay, well, let's take it back down to $12,000. No. Once they see people will still push forward to try to buy that product, whatever it is, there's no reducing the price. There's no blue light special. Like, you guys, the Project 2025 is so old school. The Heritage Foundation must be a whole bunch of old white men that sat down with all these other white folks to put this together, because the concepts within Project 2025 are so antiquated and so old and based off of things that happened in 1913, 1920, 1890, when there wasn't that much population here. The banking system wasn't like it was. The employment system wasn't like it was. The people that lived here is at least 3,000 times more people that live here in all types of different cultures and things, right? But they want to take everything back to how it was before Civil Rights Act, before the Great Depression. They want to take it back to right after slavery, right before the Great Depression. That's where, if you read Project 2025, that's like the time frame that they're taking all of their great ideas, which makes absolutely no sense. It's still crazy too. But it's like they're not understanding that you can't take things back. You can't break things that are here right now and take them back and promise everybody that if you just hang with us for a couple of years, we're going to get all these things back into place. We're going to get rid of the IRS so we can take it back to the time before the IRS was even created. And we're going to make sure you don't have to pay taxes, but you'll pay a consumption tax. We're going to take the dollar all the way back before it was paper money that had no value. We're going to take it back and we're going to give it a value of gold. And gold is going to be the standard. And the gold is going to give the value of the dollar. So it'll be gold bonded instead of just fiat dollars like we have right now. Or we're going to take it all the way back before the CFPB was created and the OCC was created and the Federal Reserve was created. We only need one regulatory agency because way back in 1915, we didn't have all those regulatory agencies. Like, everything is to take everything all the way back. And the thing is that as societies grow and they multiply, and you have all these, and we used to be a leader in innovation. We used to be a leader in technology. We used to be a leader in manufacturing. We used to be a leader in all of these things, right? But we're finding that we're not a leader in technology, right? China's definitely leading us in technology and AI. We're not a leader in manufacturing. China definitely manufactures everything. I saw one of the Trumpers come out and said, well, if he puts all the tariffs on all these other countries, it will increase our prices and we won't be able to afford anything. But what it'll do is it'll force us to not want to import anything from other countries. And so we can just make it in America, not thinking we don't have the infrastructure no more because we gave up the infrastructure. We forced all the auto manufacturing to go to Mexico and other countries. We started buying everything from China. Like, you can't just think that I can't. I have worked closely with CEOs. I have worked closely with millionaires. I am not a millionaire or a billionaire by any stretch of the imagination, but it's like these old white men don't understand that things don't work like they used to, and you definitely can't take it back to how it used to be. And just to name the Heritage Foundation or whatever, it just makes me feel like old mess. But we pushed everything out because of capitalism. We wanted to get things manufactured for cheap. So we went to China, we went to India, we went to the Philippines, we went to Mexico. We set up manufacturing and things over in those other countries to have things made for less money so we can bring it back to America to sell it. And then the people that were doing all this made the most profit. It was profits, right? Follow the money. Now they're believing if we make it too expensive to afford the goods and services from these other countries to import it in, it'll force America to have everything made in America. Meanwhile, we don't have the infrastructure. So if you do force everything to be made in America, it's like, how many years is it going to take you to make all the infrastructure that you need in order to make it in America? How long is it going to take you to make your manufacturing plants? How long is it going to take you to build up those warehouses? How long is it going to take you to make the parts that you need for whatever? Like, it's foolishness. So I did want to, so right now the Trump administration is fighting with USAID. So let me pull this up and then I want to go through that article. I'm not even going to try to find where it's at. I'm going to read the article first. So the Trump administration and billionaire Elon Musk, who hasn't even had his department confirmed. That's the other thing. Congress, the Senate, the House, nobody approved Elon Musk Department of Government Efficiency. So Doge, nobody has approved that. Nobody has approved that. Trump said, okay, you can have a department. We're going to give you the Department of Government Efficiency. And Elon Musk said, thank you. And then he went and overtook the Treasury. Because y'all know over the weekend, he ran the director of the Treasury out of the office. The director of the Treasury quit. Now Elon Musk has taken over USAID, right? So in one of the most dramatic efforts to push back on President Donald Trump's bid to slash and reshape the federal government, some Democrats sought Monday to enter the headquarters of U.S. Agency for International Development. Now let me see if I have... Let me see if I can pull it up. Marco Rubio. Ooh, I remember him. So the Trump administration changes have upended the U.S. agency charged with providing humanitarian aid to countries overseas, with dozens of senior officials put on leave, thousands of contractors laid off, and a sweeping freeze imposed on billions of dollars in foreign assistance. Democratic senators warned the Trump administration Friday against any effort to eliminate the U.S. Agency for International Development as an independent agency responding to growing fears among its supporters. That's the other thing. When I talk to the Donald Trump supporters, and I talk to them on social media, it's not like I know any of them, they believe that every agency is not independent, that somebody owns it. I have been told that Rockefellers own the Federal Reserve. I have been told that somebody private owns the FDIC. I am sure that if I go on Truth Social, that somebody believes that the U.S. Agency for International Development is owned by a private person. It's just the lies. It's just crazy. So anyways, aid organizations say the funding freeze and deep confusion over what U.S. funding programs must stop work as a result has left them agonizing on whether they can continue operating programs such as those providing round-the-clock nutritional support to extremely malnourished infants and children, knowing that closing the doors mean that many of those children would die. Here's the problem with millionaires and billionaires. They don't care. They cannot relate. They do not care. They've never needed anything given to them for free. They've never needed a hand up because they always got everything handed to them. So they don't understand. They don't understand if they close these programs, people will die. They don't they really don't care. These are the same people that thought we were animals. So they don't care. They see humans as inhumane. So current former officials of the State Department said, and USAID say staffers were invited to submit requests to exempt certain programs from the foreign freeze, and Trump imposed January 20th. Listen, it's getting crazy. It's just getting crazy out here. Trump told reporters Monday that shutting down USAID should have been done a long time ago. This agency has been open for 60 years. It's a humanitarian agency. Humanitarian. So what that tells me is that Trump and Musk don't do anything. They don't give back at all. And I couldn't imagine being a millionaire or a billionaire and not giving back. I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine. You don't need that much money, and you need a write-off, but you need to help people. Like even my entire career, every time somebody helped me, they always say, "I'm gonna help you. Don't worry about it." But my charge to you is that as you grow and as you achieve and as you go higher and higher, You always look back and take somebody with you. And I swear, I've done that my entire career. I have mentored more people than I can imagine. I don't know how many, I can't count. I'm always reaching back to bring forward. So I cannot imagine closing down an organization that has been open for 60 plus years that provides humanitarian effort and relief and support internationally. Because why? Because it's a money grab. So Congressional Democrats, cheered by a few hundred supporters, vowed to act outside USAID headquarters, where federal officers and yellow tape blocked both employees and lawmakers from entering hours after Musk declared, "We're shutting it down." For why, though? For why? This is a constitutional crisis we are in today, Democratic Chris Murphy said. Look, right here in this article, it says, showing the extraordinary power of Musk and his budget slashing Department of Government efficiency. The department has never been approved. This is what I mean when I say these two men have never had to really, what they talk about actually, like pull themselves up from their bootstraps, because they both had rich daddies that gave them money, and they have jacked off and bankrupted every single company they tried to do on their own. They had to buy into companies, or they just had to give up and start over and give. So you can't just say that Musk has the Department of Government Efficiency. What government? And you can't just write a memo and says, I give this to Elon, and now he is the director of the Department of Government Efficiency. Where's your policy? Where's your procedures? Where's your charter? Where's your mission? Like there's so many things you need to start a government department entity. Like you just can't start. It's just not something you name. It's just so ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. Oh my gosh. So thousands of USAID employees have been laid off and programs shut down around the world in the 2 weeks since Trump became president. And it's just crazy. The U.S. is the world's largest provider of humanitarian aid, and the moves has upended decades of U.S. policy. They don't understand policy. That reminds me of what Kendrick Lamar said when he said something about when the metaphors doesn't reach you. Like Drake was trying to understand stuff about Kendrick Lamar and listening to the music and just misunderstood all the things that Kendrick Lamar talks about in his music because the metaphors doesn't reach him. It's the same thing with this. The same thing with this. They don't understand policy. They don't write policy. They do not write policy. Trump does not write policy. And that Project 2025 is a joke. It's a joke. There's no qualifying data. There's no analysis. There's no testing. There's no beta testing. There's no proof system. There's nothing in that report except for opinions and wishes and dreams. Project 2025 is wishes and dreams. That's it. I didn't see any data analytics. I didn't see any charts. I didn't see any comparisons. I didn't see quantitative or qualitative analysis. I didn't see anything within Project 2025 except it worked back then, so it should work today. Like, come on, man. Come on. And so when it says here that they're upending decades of U.S. policy, these people don't write policy. Trump and Elon do not understand policy. They don't write the policies that put humanitarian development and security assistance in the center of efforts to build alliances and counter adversaries such as China and Russia. They also don't understand how to build alliances. They don't understand why allies are so important. They don't understand why government relations are so important. They don't understand why having a friend across the water is important, or being nice, simply being nice. And their followers don't either. Truth Social, all them patriots and stuff, they don't either. A bunch of bullies and a bunch of greedy people and a bunch of self-centered people. It's too hard to be in this world as an island of one and be happy and successful. Trump and Elon look ugly. They look ugly. They look unhappy. They billionaires and they're not happy. They're permanent frown. permanent unhappiness, and they just want more and more and more, and nothing is going to fulfill that empty, dank, dark hole in their heart or in their gut or in their soul. They will forever be miserable because they don't have a heart, they don't have a spirit, they don't have a soul. They are permanently miserable people. And what is it? Misery love company? It just doesn't make any sense to me how they don't understand that it's better to work together than work apart. And to isolate the United States makes us vulnerable. And that's why when China, Mexico, and Canada pushed back today, Trump said, okay, I'm gonna leave y'all alone. Because you're gonna keep bullying people until they bully you back. This is just ridiculous. Humanitarian efforts and children that have a need, I mean, they can't really probably push back, but they should have other countries that support the efforts that we were supporting. There probably were other partnerships. So this could possibly, I haven't dug deep into the USAID and the international support that's going on with this humanitarian effort and all the other partners. But from the work that I do, I can best believe that there's more than just the United States of America within this humanitarian effort. And I'm pretty sure that the partnerships that exist are very significant to the United States. Outside of the countries that they're helping, it's the countries that they're partnering with to also help. Those are significant relationships that are being damaged as well. But I need to look. I have not read into USAID. I can go and read through that and see. But it's just unfortunate that these people. But this is what white men do. This is what white men do. From the beginning of time, this is what white men do. And they take the easy way out and let other people take the fall for the work that they do. But this is what they do: conquer. They go in and they conquer and they take resources. And right now the resources is money and gold. Resources is money and gold and minerals and metals. Yeah, because Elon's got those companies that has to do with all technology. Oh, God, this is awful. The U.S. spends less than 1% of its budget on foreign assistance. And this is what I've been telling people. When they complain about sending money to Ukraine or sending money to other places that need money, they're like, we've got people that are homeless here. You guys can keep that money here and help the homeless. We already have budgets set for homelessness. We already have budgets set for housing. We have budgets set for juvenile justice or social justice or economic justice or whatever it is, right? The monies that are sent out for these other foreign assistance, even if they didn't send it, it wouldn't still go to homelessness. It still wouldn't go into the farmers. It still wouldn't go into whoever that is that's complaining, that's saying, if we didn't send money to Ukraine, our country would be so much better. No, if we didn't send money to Ukraine, we just don't send money to Ukraine. The U.S. spends less than 1% of its total budget on foreign assistance because we just print money. We spend over $1 trillion and they send $60 million to Ukraine. If they didn't send it to Ukraine, it wouldn't have made you any more jobs here. You have to understand that monies are allocated. Once monies are allocated, what is is. Like Congress has approved all of that. Congress approved it all. Congress approves the budgets. Congress knows how much they're willing to send for foreign assistance. And sometimes they might have a little bit of a surplus, and so they might make another decision to send it instead of here, over there. But none of that money was going to end homelessness. If they wanted to end homelessness here, they would raise minimum wage to $30 an hour, and they would allow everybody should be making over $100,000. The way to end homelessness is to make sure that everybody makes enough money. Either everybody makes enough money to pay for what they need, or you make things free, like they do in China. China makes sure that everybody is able to have a home to live in. And if they don't want to live in the city, their government will build them a house to live in the country and farm for free. And they don't have property taxes and they don't have to pay a mortgage. But y'all don't want nothing like that. So if this country wanted to end homelessness, they would. But this country is built on capitalism, not on people. They could care less about the people. Think about how the country was built. They don't care about the people. They don't care about people suffering. They don't care if people don't have a place to live. They don't care if people don't have food to eat. They don't care. The lawmakers don't care. They went totally crazy what they were doing and the money they were giving to people that shouldn't be getting it, and to agencies. This is in this article with the Associated Press. This is the interview that the person at the White House, the most powerful man in the world. He has one of the most powerful positions in the world. This is what he said. This is what he said. They went totally crazy what they were doing and the money they were giving to people that shouldn't be getting it, and to agencies and others that shouldn't be getting it. It was a shame. So a tremendous fraud. They don't understand policy. They don't have any idea of any reporting or any analytics or any type of engagement, international engagement and outreach and ally building and partnership agreements that the Oval Office had with the humanitarian efforts that they were doing. They just see that they're donating money to different agencies across the world, and they don't want them to have it. They don't have any idea of how it is benefiting this country. I couldn't live like that. So Democrats push back. Our lawmakers finally got a bug up their ass. And they marched, they went on over to the USAID offices in Washington saying they wanted to speak to the staffers. Department of Homeland Security officers and men identifying themselves as USAID employees blocked them. Elon Musk's not here. They told the lawmakers. Who are these people? Department of Homeland Security officers. After you guys shrunk the government and brought in your cronies. Because Elon Musk is staffing his whole fake Department of Government Efficiency with all the techies that made it through at X. So all the techies that made it through at X that are still hanging in there with him, now he's giving them unclassified entrance and access and high-level access and all the teams to go up in there and get into the technology and all the things. Meanwhile, all the people, Elon Musk still has a plethora of lawsuits of the people that he unrightly fired when he got Twitter, when he took over Twitter and turned it into X. All the people he offered all those buyouts to that he never gave them the money for the buyout. The same thing like Trump was trying to offer buyouts to people and pay them 8 or 9 months if they were resigned. And I'm so glad that people didn't do it. Elon Musk is in a plethora of lawsuits because people said that he offered them buyouts or he just fired them when he took over, regardless of what their employment contract said, because he doesn't understand policy. He doesn't understand employee handbooks or employee work or HR and all those things. So he just got rid of people and offered everybody buyouts. They're still in lawsuits. He's still being sued. Very unsuccessful. A very unsuccessful company. And his company is depreciating. And so is Tesla. It's not only a gift to our adversaries, but trying to shut down the Agency for International Development by executive order is plain illegal. Senator Chris Van Hollen of Maryland said, and he called it an illegal power grab and said it was a corrupt abuse of power that is going on. The last 2 weeks have been a corrupt abuse of power. The last 2 weeks have been that. The last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks have been a corrupt abuse of power. So Musk announced that closing the agency early Monday as Marco Rubio was out of the country on a trip to Central America. Rubio told reporters in San Salvador that he was now the acting administrator of USAID. But had delegated his authority to someone else In a letter to lawmakers obtained by the Associated Press, Marco Rubio designated Peter Marocco a political appointee whose short stint at USAID in the first Trump administration generated unusual staff protests for pushing program cuts. I just don't understand. And I guess because I've worked in community my entire career, supporting low-income communities, providing resources, providing support and education and things to uplift community, it just doesn't make sense to me to cut programs. Like people need these programs, but millionaires and billionaires think that people are just have their hands out and they're just they call it lazy and things. Some people just need help. Like if you would really sit down and talk to these people, you would understand why they need help, why they're not able to not need help. Like some people just need help to get to a better place. And then, you never know. Conservative Republicans have long sought to roll back USAID status as an independent agency. Man, all the independent agencies are under attack. CFPB, Federal Reserve, FDIC, OCC, NCUA, now the USAID, like all these independent agencies are under attack. They are literally trying to shut all the independent agencies down. They want them all under their control or gone. The Trump freeze on foreign assistance and targeting of USAID, which oversees humanitarian development and security programs in some 120 countries, has forced U.S. and international companies to shut down tens of thousands of programs globally, leading to furloughs, layoffs, and financial crisis. That includes an HIV/AIDS program started by Republican President George Bush, credited with saving more than 20 million lives in Africa and elsewhere. Trump don't care about that, neither do Muskrat. Other programs that were shut down provided education to schoolgirls in Afghanistan under Taliban rule and monitored an Ebola breakout in Uganda. A USAID-supported crisis monitoring program, which was credited for helping prevent repeats of the 1980s famine in Uganda that killed up to 1.2 million people, has gone offline. This is so sad. Oh my gosh, I'm about to get emotional because oh my gosh, I'm about to get emotional. I don't have time to get emotional. That's not why I got on here. I got on here. This is so sad though. It's like, how do you just don't care about all these people? One second, sorry. It's just so sad that these are the people, right? Mm, 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 mm. Mm-mm. Hold on 1 second. So let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can show this. I'm so sorry for getting emotional. I can't believe it. Jesus Pete. This is them walking over. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
Hey, step out, make a line. Step out, make a line. Let's go.
Okay. Hi, Chris. Nice to meet you. Okay, so as you are aware, this agency is very busy currently, and they are not able to take a meeting currently. They advise that they will be in contact shortly, and that best to contact the Department of State at this time if you need any further comments.
Who is they?
the front office of the administrator.
So could I just ask, are you with AID?
I am.
Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for what you do.
They don't have the right to be disciplining people for political reasons, and they don't have a right to usurp Congress's rightful role to appropriate money. We've appropriated money for USAID to render service around the world in fighting disease and fighting corruption, in defending democracy. We know Elon Musk is not interested in that. Donald Trump is not interested in that. But that's what the American Congress has done, and we're going to stand up with the workers here.
Record-breaking global superstar.
There is no way that you can think a grift. It's 1% of our total budget. It's not a grift. It's not a grift. Generational grievance with our progressive accomplishments and short-sighted ego. What a combo. Exactly. With USAID under the umbrella of the State Department. What? The State Department of what? The State Department of what? Like, so short-sighted for you to not say anything. It's already functioning. It doesn't need, it's an independent agency that answers to Congress. It doesn't need to be under a department and be managed if it's working. If it's working, you don't need to take it out from where it is to put it somewhere else to control it. Again, you know, it's just the weirdness of wanting to control things that are working. So this is sad. I feel bad. But those people will get what they got coming. And yeah. The Democrats, they're going to make sure that this, I think, maybe doesn't happen. It's very sad. Yeah, that's it. So, all right, y'all. So we're going to see what happens with the USAID international humanitarian efforts. We'll keep watching that as well. Democrats are fighting hard about it. And so hopefully it doesn't, Trump doesn't have power of the purse. So he really can't he can't say what will and will not happen. Congress has power of the purse. Trump really doesn't have that authority. Trump's trying to have authority with memos. He did this last time. The man governs with memos and force and being a bully. So we'll see what happens, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen the way he wants it to. But we'll keep our eye on it. My name is Lisa Davis. I am the Trusted Banker, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.